Overwhelmed with online or just wanting to learn more about how you can build a successful business amidst all of the self-appointed gurus, big buzzwords and empty promises? The Breaking Digital podcast by Doyle Buehler tells you exactly what smart entrepreneurs need to know to escape the clutter, get clear of the confusion, and pass the bullshit of building and growing a successful business online. It's about digital leadership and delivering the best value for your business online to your audience. Now, here's your host and author of the book on digital leadership and online marketing, The Digital Delusion, Doyle Buehler.
Well, hello and welcome to Breaking Digital, the worldwide and only podcast for smart entrepreneurs wanting to become true digital leaders in their industry and to own online, as I call it. I'm Doyle Buehler, and I'm excited to be bringing you a special guest today that is shaking things up in the training industry. And I'm really looking forward to helping you learn more about what you can be doing online and helping you do it better. I want to help you become the true digital leader for your industry, and that is why I created this podcast to help everyone in their entrepreneur journey. And if you have any comments throughout the program, please feel free to connect on Twitter at Doyle Buehler with the hashtag OwnOnline, or send me an email, doyle@thedigitaldelusion.com. And you can also find the resources that we talk about as well as the podcast for download on my site, thedigitaldelusion.com/podcast. All right, let's get started. I'd like to introduce to you Sarah Cordiner from Main Training, maintraining.com.au. And Sarah's been involved in sort of the training side of things for quite some time. I'm really excited to be bringing this guest to you, and she's done a lot of amazing things. Ambassador and guest speaker for Tribe Learn Professional Speaking, ambassador for the Institute of Professional Speakers, winner of the Influential 100 Awards 2015, and she's just done some amazing things. And her specialty, her niche, is what she calls edu-preneurship and edu-marketing. And currently she's the managing director of Main Training. So we're going to get to know a little bit more about Sarah and how she's really making waves in the digital space. So welcome, Sarah.
Thank you so much. What an intro.
Well, what an intro. I mean, you've done a lot of really, really cool things. So, the first question I got to ask you is what drives you? You've obviously been very successful at what you do. So, what motivates you?
Yeah, isn't that the question that everyone in the world would like to know, isn't it? What is it that makes entrepreneurs, hey? Some say it might be a special gene. For some of us, it could be, some special life mission that's been set for us. But I think we're unique human beings, us entrepreneurs. We're a little bit different. We're always hungry for more. And it's not because what we have isn't enough. It's because we know there is more to have, and that's okay. For me, I've always been fascinated with education, and mostly because I absolutely hated it when I was a kid.
Well, didn't we all? Yeah. I don't know how many people actually liked it.
I think it's very rare to find somebody that says, I loved school. Let's face it, school was rubbish. It was oppressive. You constantly got compared to other people. You got graded. And really, how realistic is school in comparison to actual life? Really, I think it's completely and utterly different. The way we get judged in school in comparison to life is like judging a fish by its ability to climb a tree. It's a very different world. And I didn't like it. And I remember spending my time at school thinking, God, I just can't wait to get out of here. I can't wait for this to be over. And then I got into real life, and remembering the chemical equation for photosynthesis did not get me anywhere. I still don't remember how to do Pythagoras' theorem. I never needed to.
Well, I could tell you how to do that one. I remember that one.
Really? You're one of the few, I imagine.
A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
Yeah, so I came out of education and decided to go backpacking around the world, which was the furthest away from education I could possibly get. Yeah. And while I was traveling, I discovered that I started learning a lot of things, and that learning was actually extremely different to what I expected it, or what I'd been told that learning was. And this suddenly made me realize that learning should be approached in a very, very different way. And this is where edupreneurship really comes in, is that we are hungry for more as entrepreneurs all the time, but we also depend on our market being hungry for what we have to offer and what we're serving. So we're now living in a world where we can no longer just tell people what we do and expect to make sales. We can no longer just have a great website and a list of services to get clients. Although all of those things are important, what we really need to do now is make our customers as hungry for what we have as we are for doing business. Mm-hmm. And the only way to do that really is to get them to experience what you have to offer first. So I always say to entrepreneurs, to change, to grow your business, to make a bigger impact, to really make a difference to your industry, to increase your leads and sales, to make automated and passive sales, you need to be showing your customers what value they will get and what difference they will have when they start using your product and service.
That's the $1 million question is what value do you actually deliver? And do you have any sort of good examples of value out there that you deliver or that you've seen out there?
And there's lots of ways of explaining this. I think one of the first ways I introduce this to people that I speak to is, first of all, just start thinking about how will people stop feeling when they start using your product or service? Because that's
how do they stop feeling?
How will they stop feeling?
Okay.
Because all of our customers, they have some kind of problem or need.
Mm-hmm.
They have some kind of pain or issue that needs to be solved. So by telling them that they will stop feeling that way is the first buy-in. I've got this problem, I have this frustration. It doesn't matter. I mean, look at the weight loss industry. Are you overweight? Do you feel like every time you go to a clothes store, nothing fits?
Yes, and yes. Are you calling me fat?
So this is what we talk about when we say their pains and their problems. Hey, if you use this, that will stop happening. And how they start feeling. Hey, wouldn't you love to feel beautiful? Wouldn't you love to not be embarrassed when ...
Yeah.
So how they stop and how they start. Now, here's an example of edu-preneurship, right? If you pick up one of those magazines in the store, one of those Cosmo Girl magazines or whatever, have a flick through, and very rarely will you see just a list of cosmetics that are for sale. You're very unlikely to see that. What you will see, however, is like Kim Kardashian's face slapped on a page, and it will say 5 ways to get the Kim look.
Well, just because she's doing it makes it really important, right?
Because the people reading that magazine love or idolize those kinds of characters, and they want to be them. They want to feel like them. They want to be wealthy and gorgeous and loved and adored like them. So by the magazine saying how to get the Kim look or how to do this, they then say, Kim happens to use this lipstick or this mascara, which is probably complete and utter rubbish.
Mm-hmm.
But what they've done is they've educated their market in a certain way about their products. Instead of just saying, hey, we've got these products for sale. They've educated them. That's edu-preneurship. Edu-preneurship is informing, educating, and exposing your customer to what you have to offer in a way that not only gives them value, but has a commercial, profitable value for you as a business person too.
Okay, excellent.
That's edu-preneurship.
Wow, that's a good concept. And how do you unroll something like that for a normal business out there?
Yeah, so there's many platforms you can use. Here's a really great example now. A very good friend of mine, this is on the very extreme end, however, a very good friend of mine goes around the whole country delivering free workshops, completely free. Okay. And it's really interesting when I talk to people who are in services businesses or consulting or training businesses, when I say this to them, because they say, what? You want me to give away my content for free?
Yeah. Somebody's going to steal it.
Yeah, this is what I want people to pay me for.
Yeah.
And say, no. So this guy, he's doing this, and he gives a workshop for free, and then he gives value in those workshops. He gives away some of his best information, right? He gives people the experience of his expertise. He gets to stand in front of his target audience and demonstrate his capability, his capacity, his intelligence, his knowledge, his experience. In doing that, he gains absolute trust from them. They already have received value from him. They've already received his expertise, which then by the end of the free workshop, he turns around and says, hey, would you like to buy my paid program? And pretty much the whole room do.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm talking a lot of dollars here.
And so that works well for him?
Yes. So that is what we call edu-marketing. So
okay.
how do this back to your question, is whatever you do, whether you're selling lawnmowers, you instead of going, here's my really nice lawnmower and it has this speed motor on it.
Can you turn up the English accent?
God, just don't do that. Nobody cares about the lawnmower. What people care about is 10 ways to get the garden of your dreams.
Yeah, that's good. I love that.
Beautiful photos of like an immaculate lawn with all these beautiful things. People are going to go, wow, I want that. How did you get that? 10 ways. And you give them all these 10 steps. Oh, and by the way, we use this lawnmower.
Yeah. No,
how many times do you think you're going to sell that lawnmower? Like every time.
Yeah.
So whatever you do, whatever business you're in, so if you're an online marketer, if you're doing search engine optimization for your customers, don't just go, we do the top SEO and we will increase your sales by 50%. Boring. Stop it.
Well, no, it's we will put you number one on Google.
Yeah.
That's what you hear.
Yeah. How would 5 top ways of how you can make your website be number one on Google?
Yeah.
It's interesting. People are like, I want to know how to do that. And because they then put your learning into practice where you've not sold to them, you've taught them how to do something and it worked for them, guess what? They're going to come back to you and pay you for you to then carry on doing stuff for them because they've really experienced the benefit of your expertise.
Right.
So that is edu-marketing. So if you can run free workshops, you can do webinars, you can do videos. So these things can be pre-recorded and just put up on YouTube. You can regularly post and repost them. You might have articles and blogs, and these articles and blogs will always be how-tos, the top 10 tips for. So they're info, they're helping and guiding and teaching people in your area.
Do you think that is there a downside to that you've got like people that just come and go, well, I'm just going to go do it myself now, I know what to do? Or
well, let's put it this way. If you weren't doing that, would you be getting the customers that you do get? Because what you're doing is you are putting yourself out into the market, you're exposing yourself in front of your customers. Well, surely that's what you want from any marketing. This kind of marketing is free. So, you are making an impact because you are educating people in your field.
I was thinking it from the other side. If somebody goes to, say, example, a workshop and it's a free workshop and they get like just some amount of value type thing. What about those tire kickers that just come in for the free information kind of thing and then leave and you never see from them again? Right. Is that a downside or not?
Definitely not. The complete opposite, because those people have still gained value from you. And if your name is kicked around in front of them, they'll be like, yeah, I went to that workshop. That guy's pretty good. That was great. It's testimonial. It's word of mouth. Even if they didn't pay you, if they got value from that, the point is they're a potential word of mouth referral. And that is more valuable than anything. Anything you're doing in front of your audience, whether they're paying you or not, it's marketing for you. Yeah,
it definitely helps. And I think that's actually how we met, was at an event here in Perth. Sorry, do you mind talking about who that was that actually had that free workshop?
Yeah.
Well, go ahead. Yeah. Who that was?
Yeah. So this was, we met at an event with a gentleman called Sam Cawthorne, who is one of the top speaker trainers in the world. He owns the Institute of Professional Speakers, which I'm happy to talk about. I'm also an ambassador for them. Yeah. He is another classic example of how he uses edu-marketing and edu-preneurship to build his business. So he runs free workshops, and from those free workshops, people get so much value. Half of them may not sign up to his paid programs, but a lot of the ones, even though they don't sign up, will then start following him on social media. They'll read his book and go and buy that. Yeah. They will post on Facebook, brilliant workshop today, tag Sam Cawthorne. So like you say, even though some of those people aren't buying, the fact is the rest of them are. And they still got so much value that they're still going to be spreading the message that was the whole objective of edu-marketing in the first place. And that was the whole thing Sam was trying to achieve. Yeah,
and he did a remarkable job. Like he's got so much energy and just some brilliant stories. I absolutely loved what he's doing. So yeah, no, that's absolutely fantastic. What in terms of like digital leadership and sort of getting into the front with your concepts and that sort of thing, how do you kind of define that concept of like you've got edu-marketing and that sort of thing? Where's this headed, do you think? What's the next step of, whether it's workshops or webinars, like that sort of thing? Where do you see down the road what people might be doing?
Honestly, I think I'm going to be bold enough to say here that the world has already changed. And any business, whether you're a solopreneur, entrepreneur, whether you have a small, medium or large size company, marketing has changed. And the way that your consumers engage with what you have to offer is gone. Anyone who is going to spend money on marketing this year is going to be wasting their money.
Okay.
And I'm confident enough to say that because people are engaging in a new way.
So we're past that gap kind of thing, or that chasm.
Okay. It's content marketing is already something that people are very familiar with, and it's already being thrown around very much in the marketing space. It hasn't quite yet filtered down to the everyday business person that perhaps isn't in the world of marketing. Mm-hmm. But it's about to become extremely big. It's being taken noted of now. All of the most successful businesses, all of the most successful thought leaders, experts, authorities in their fields, the people making the most money are the people who know and are using the secret of edupreneurship and edu-marketing. If you have expertise and knowledge or a message, which everybody does, it doesn't matter which stage of business you're at right now, you know stuff in your field that other people don't know and want to know and want to pay you to know.
Yeah.
So you need to be making workbooks. Just put down your top 10 bits of information. Don't necessarily always tell them how, just tell them what and a few steps to take. And you can sell those information booklets straight up. You can give them away for free in return for creating a database. You can use those workbooks as part of a paid program. You can use those workbooks then to build videos to go with them. Your videos may be something that you give away for free on your social media or to new customers. Any way you can to expose your message and your expertise. It's about demonstrating now and giving your customers an actual experience of your expertise before you ask them to give you money.
Okay. Could you maybe walk us through an example, and you don't have to name any names or any that sort of thing, how somebody could pull those ideas together? Because a lot of times we just assume that it's fairly easy. But if I'm, say, a retail business or a B2B business, how do I actually pull those ideas out and put them down onto like a checklist or, something like that you mentioned, or into a workbook?
So there is actually, I've actually devised a system. We've been in training development now for 10 years, and it is a whole other industry in its own right. But I've created a system that's step by step that people can follow, regardless of any experience they may or may not have in educational development, to turn what they know, to pull it out of their heads and put it down into the platform of a learning product or program that they can use for edupreneurship and edu-marketing. So
just sorry, before you get into that, what you're saying is that you don't need to be or know about education to educate your customer. Is that correct?
You just need to know what you know.
Yeah, exactly. So that could be a huge barrier for people because they think, well, I don't know. I'm not a teacher. I'm not an educator. It's like, I just know what I'm doing kind of thing.
That's it. So I won't take you through all because I know that we haven't got a lot of time on here, Doyle, but what we would always tell people to do first is decide what the topic's going to be and decide if that topic can be broken down into a number of chapters. Or if it's a very small topic, maybe it's just got some subheadings under it. So get all of your content, everything you know, and just kind of pile all of your knowledge into the right chapters. From there, you will then create learning outcomes for each of those chapters. So what we mean by learning outcomes is by the end of that webinar, that workbook, that video, that workshop, whatever it is you're preparing, what will the people on that product or program be able to do? What will they know? And how will they feel by the end of that? What will they know? What will they be able to do? And how will they feel? They're your learning outcomes. And then you look at your content that was in that pile and you basically sieve out and throw away anything that's not related to that content. So you want to just keep it as minimal as possible. So save that stuff, that information for another chapter or another product or program. Then you need to organize your content in a sequence that will really engage people, that will help them flow through that information. So let's say we're going to go for a whole workbook, because a workbook's a really good platform to build any other kind of learning product or program. So you need in there a personable or personal story. It will be like a case study or a profile of a typical customer in that space, where people can go, oh my God, this person just gets me. This is me. This is my experience. I totally understand how this feels, or I have this problem. I have this frustration. I'm in. I get it. It introduces them to the topic in a way that they feel like it's about them, personal story. Then you have your solution to that. So not the how at the moment, just the what. However, we can help you with this in this way. Then you have research, statistics, backup information, other people's theories and models around that topic to back up your what. Then you have your own take on that person's theories or topics or information. And then you close off with an activity or practical exercises or something that your audience need to do to practically put into place or into practice your information and your theory. So that's a very, very brief overview. If you could see the wall behind me, I'm going to just show the camera at the wall behind me.
Sure, yeah.
There's a color code, and there is a step-by-step system and method for doing this. We do run free workshops on this. We've got one actually coming up in Perth on the 11th of April.
Right, yeah.
We also run 3-day workshops where we take people the whole way through this process. You'll design your own whole entire program and a profitable program as well. So we don't just teach you how to do the free stuff. We teach you how to do edu-preneurship, which means making money from your information. And you actually walk away with a draft completed workbook that you can immediately start using to engage your customers and make money.
Oh, excellent. And do you have any events coming up on the East Coast, Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, that sort of thing?
Definitely do. We've actually got an event taking place in Sydney, in Adelaide, in Brisbane, and Perth here as well. So yeah.
Oh, excellent. Cool.
All the states, Northern Territory at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. And what are some of these businesses like? Are they mildly impressed? Are they excited? Has it helped their business? Has it kind of stepped them up a notch? Like, what was your sort of impression of how it's helping them?
Well, I mean, look, to give you some example, businesses out there at the moment who are not engaging in edu-marketing or edu-preneurship are spending a lot of time and money trying to get in front of their audience, trying to engage with their audience. They're feeling very frustrated. They're working endless hours, and then they just feel like they're not getting anywhere. By getting in front of your audience and demonstrating to them what you can do and what you've got and how that can change their lives and the value that it will bring them, people are seeing more than 100% increases in their profit margin, because they're doubling their exposure. And by doing it in a platform like a workbook, like a video, they're also getting the viral effect. And this is the great thing about doing this online, because it can expose you to so many more people than, say, a newspaper advert or a radio advert. It then gets shares. It gets multiple shares. You can automate the entire process. If you've got a great landing page with your workbooks on there, people can chuck in their email address in return for getting the workbook. Hey, guess what? You're building a database while you're teaching people about your stuff, which normally would be sales calls, going out doing face-to-face meetings.
Or advertising or whatever, yeah. And there was actually an interesting article I read in Ad News, is that, and this is kind of where the problem I believe is coming from, is that a lot of traditional marketing is, just push it out there and that sort of thing. And the big news was that one of the largest brands in the world, Kellogg, is canceling all their outdoor billboards. And I'm thinking, well, they probably should have done that like a decade ago. And the reason is they weren't getting any measurable return on investment, right? They had no idea what statistics, how many people were actually activating on that. And that's kind of where you see the shift. And if, as you say, we're past that gap, because we're saying, look, you don't need to push in front of people. You need to pull people in towards you, because you're educating them, because you're training them, you're helping them sort of get to that next level of their business. So it's a really fascinating concept.
Absolutely. And it's going to bring very, very big returns. It already is bringing huge returns to many businesses who've got this secret and who are putting it into practice at the moment. So, I'm more than happy to talk to businesses. This works in any industry. It works in any size company. There's a how-to, there's an edu-marketing method for absolutely every niche out there.
So how do they get started? What do they need to do? Yeah. Like you told about sort of the steps that they can take to build a program. And I probably should have started with how do I get started, or how does a business get started?
Well, the first thing is obviously you need to understand who your audience is. It's the basics of marketing. Who are they? Where do they hang out? What do they need? And I don't mean when I say who are your audience, I don't mean like the how old are they? What kind of hair have they got? What kind of job title do they have? When I say who's your audience, what we really mean is, what do they want? What do they want more than anything? What do they want to stop having, and what do they want to start having more than anything in the world? And give them that. If I'm targeting entrepreneurs, which I am, that's my real market. So I'll give you a real life example. My real life market are entrepreneurs, they're solopreneurs, they're small and medium enterprises. They're businesses that are working really, really hard, but are still not making a difference. They're businesses who they want to make an impact. They want credibility. They want to be noticed. They want to be seen as an authority in their field. They want to start making money. They want to make money while they're sleeping, preferably. So we start our sales pitch with, how are you going to increase your sales without spending any money? How are you going to become the authority in your field? How are you? And we ask these questions, and they're going, well, that's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. In this 10-step-by-step method, we're going to teach you how. Or on this free workshop, we're going to show you how. And they just go, sign me up. I'm coming. I want to know more. And then bam, you've got them in front of you. Voluntarily, they've come along. And that's when you build the relationship. That's when you build the trust. That's when you give them first their experience, their value, and they go, wow, now I've been given something from you. Now I'm interested in working with you.
Yeah, no, excellent. That's a really, really cool model. So what's just on something different, what's hot and what's not online in your mind?
Oh man, what's hot and what's not? I would say, honestly, the hottest thing right now, and a lot of my entrepreneur friends are saying this to me, is networking, is scaling your networks. This is all about
Are we
trust.
talking traditional networking?
Actually, yeah, honestly, that is definitely one of them. Going along to networking events, going along to conferences, going along to cocktail evenings in your local area is a fantastic way to meet and get in front of your target audience. Where do they hang out? What kinds of conferences do they go to? It doesn't have to be corporate. You could have like a beer and wine festival. Well, if that's where your customers hang out, go there. Like, for the love of God, go there. There's no better way of getting in front of your targets, for sure. Then the networking in terms of online networking, this is humongous. Look, just to give you some idea, in the 4 days alone, one post in a social media group that I hang out and all my target audience hang out, one post got me in the region of $300,000 worth of leads.
Oh, wow.
I've been having a personal face-to-face consultations with via Zoom or Zoom meetings, online meetings, people in America, Singapore, China, the UK, Australia, one post. Now, do you think that I would have been able to do that in doing traditional advertising?
Yeah, excellent.
No. It's edu-marketing that got that for me. And I'm very happy to share that, because this is the power of engaging and networking online. Go to Facebook, type in the search bar all the keywords of where your target audience hang out. So for me, like I say, it's entrepreneurs are my target audience. So I type in business in Perth, business support group, entrepreneurs, and all these groups come up. Join them, engage in them. Do not promote yourself. Simply give information and value about your topic, and you will find that you are being added and added and added endlessly by people who are your target audience. They come to you. And that's how you can start building yourself authority and credibility. As soon as you've got an authority that you've built for yourself simply by giving edu information, that's when you can start charging the really, really high dollars. And you know what? You can just sit in your bedroom and watch all these messages come through to your emails. You know, hey, how can I work with you? Hey, can I have a meeting with you? Hey, can I give you my money? Yes.
Yeah. Excellent. Are there any groups you'd like to share with us that we could connect with, our audience can connect with?
Well, I've got one that I would love to invite you guys to join on Facebook. It's called You Are What You Niche. You're not what you, and the reason why it's called this, let me tell you. When you meet people the first time, what's the first question they ask you?
What do you do?
What do you do?
Yeah.
So you're not what you eat, you are what you niche. And as part of this group, we teach you how to own your niche. We teach you how to own it in a number of ways. We've got a number of ambassadors in that group who are absolute experts in their different fields. Everything from marketing to online marketing to you name it, it's in there. So they're always at your beck and call to help you out for growing your business and scaling and making more profit and getting out there.
Okay. And is it a private or a public group?
It's a public group. So if you just type in You Are What You Niche, the group will come up. And if you just press join, I will accept you with loving open arms.
Excellent. And yeah, for those who are listening and not able to type it in right now, it will be in the resource section of this podcast. So yeah, excellent. What else is hot?
What else is hot? Oh, do you know what, Doyle? I'm learning so many and discovering so many new things online. It's unbelievable. What's been hot for me personally this week has been Zoom meetings. ZOO.
Yeah, that's a wonderful service, eh?
It's fantastic. There's another great one. I mean, GoToMeeting is another one. I actually was sitting having a chuckle to myself the other day because by 11 a.m. yesterday morning, I'd had a one-on-one face-to-face consultation with a man in China, a man in Singapore, and 2 women in America.
Wow.
By 11 o'clock in the morning. And, you know, isn't it amazing? It was only a couple of years ago when I was getting in my car and I was driving around and, you know, I was maybe only getting 2 meetings in a day in my local area because I was having to go and do this whole face-to-face thing. Well, you know, now at the click of a button, we can watch and talk face-to-face, we can have conversations, we can build relationships, and more importantly, we can make massive sales by using these online platforms.
Yeah,
it's
excellent.
just changing the way we do business massively.
Yeah, and it sounds like you're really taking advantage of those. What about what's not hot? What do you dislike about online?
What's not?
I think you alluded to it earlier when you said like people can't just push their crap out there, right?
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's interesting. Like I'm on LinkedIn. Love LinkedIn as well. That's another hot one. I've got a lot of business through LinkedIn in the past. When you have an autoresponder, and when you accept somebody on LinkedIn and you get this auto response of, hi, I'm whoever, and I do this, and I have, and my services are, and dot, 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 and you're just like, someone kill me now, where's the delete button? I need to remove.
Aren't I awesome?
It's all about, you know, if your promotion is about I have, I've got, I do you know what? Just jump on the train and go home because nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about what you do. People care about what you can give them. So this crap self-promotion, crappy adverts are gone. Just stick it in the bin. Just
stick it in the bin.
Stick it in the bin. It's over. So that is just so not hot anymore, and it's never going to come back ever. So the longer you procrastinate about swapping your traditional marketing for edu-marketing, the longer you're going to be left behind, and the quicker you're going to die out for sure. Okay,
excellent. Just sort of a a question for comparison in terms of market. Like, do you feel that like on a, I don't know, if you can compare some of the markets like the UK market, American, Canadian market, Australian market, Asian market, are we any further ahead or any further behind in sort of this education marketing?
Do you know what
it's the same level? Like what do you think?
I would actually say it's probably fairly similar across the board in terms of how many, like the volume of people that are doing this.
Yeah.
It seems to be that there's only a handful of people who actually are aware of the power of edu-marketing, or should I say that are at least implementing it. But they're the ones who you know about. They are all the names you know and hear every day. They're the big companies or the big individuals. They're the ones that are making all the money. And you know what? That speaks for itself, really.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. All right, cool. We're just about ready to wrap up. You've got a special event and a special gift that you wanted to talk about as well.
I do. I'm feeling a bit generous today, Doyle.
It must be because the sun is shining once again.
It's in Western Australia. It's beautiful.
Yes.
Now I'm feeling very grateful. So we are holding 3-day workshops in every city internationally, wherever there is a demand for this course. It's a 3-day workshop where you will learn how to write a learning product or program for the purposes of edu-marketing in your particular industry. You will walk away having designed your edu-marketing campaign. You will have a complete plan of exactly how you're going to put it all into action. You will have written your learning outcomes for every chapter or part of that edu-marketing campaign. And you will walk away with a draft workbook that you can immediately start using as a commercial platform for your business.
Excellent.
That course, there's a lot more information for it that you can find by joining You Are What You Niche on Facebook or going to maintraining.com.au. And if you join You Are What You Niche, send us a private message with Doyle's name.
That's D-O-Y-L-E.
D-O-Y-L-E to the admin on You Are What You Niche Facebook page, and I will give you the gift of $1,000 credit note towards that 3-day program.
Wow, that's incredible, Sarah.
How good is that?
That's really awesome. I might take you up on that offer.
There you go. That's it. That's all being part of Doyle's following.
Yeah, fantastic. Oh, that's super. Sarah, really appreciate that. So again, the details will be on the resource section. And in closing, what 3 specific actions would you like to give to our audience to take away to say, hey, you can be doing something different, or get moving in this direction? What would you instruct people to do?
Yeah. Okay, so number 1 is what are you good at? What do you do? What does your business do? Number 2, teach people how to do that. Don't be afraid and think you're giving away your best information. Teach people how you do what you do in your business or your area of expertise.
Just to interject there, that's one of the biggest problems I see is that people are so worried about protecting what they know, and it's reverse. People don't know who you are unless you do that, right?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, let's just put 2 people together who offer exactly the same product. There's one of them that's constantly in your face in terms of giving you great videos, great value. You've seen them, you've heard them, they've given you all this step-by-step advice. And then there's the other guy with a great website who just says you have to pay for your 1-hour consultation.
Yeah.
You already trust the other guy, right?
Yeah, the proof is in the pudding. Yeah.
There you go. So just don't be afraid to give that away. So what are you good at? And then tell people how you do that. And then finally, decide what platform that people are most going to be able to engage with that and put it into that platform. So if your audience are the kind that will be watching videos, maybe they commute to work every day, just do a 5-minute video. It doesn't even have to do a 2-minute video. Just if you've got a mobile phone, pick it up, talk to it for 2 minutes about how you do what you do best, and put it on YouTube, put it on your social media. It doesn't have to be that hard.
It doesn't have to be a Hollywood production either.
No, not at all. That is enough to start your edupreneurship journey. And if you'd like some more tips, obviously come on over to You Are What You Niche and you'll get lots more.
Yeah, perfect. Cool. Thank you. Anything else that you wanted to just mention off the cuff?
No, not at all. I would welcome any comments, anyone who wants to get in touch. And thank you very much for having me today.
All right. Excellent. Thanks, Sarah. I really appreciate that. So I really want to thank everybody for listening to my podcast, Breaking Digital, the podcast for smart entrepreneurs wanting to become true digital leaders in their industry and to own online. So once again, I really want to thank my guest, Sarah Cordiner from maintraining.com.au, who's been a brilliant insight into how to step it up a notch and how to develop and deliver education to your customers, to your audience, to grow your business. So if you have any comments on the program, please feel free to connect on Twitter at Doyle Buehler with the hashtag #OwnOnline, or send me an email, doyle@thedigitaldelusion.com. My mobile is country code 61413106880. Or make it easy on yourself. There's a lot of information there. Just Google Doyle Buehler, and I'm amazed at what always comes up when you do that. So anyway, I would really appreciate it if you could share this podcast with your network, as I'm sure they will get some value from it for building their successful business online. And don't forget, you can find the resources that we talked about, as well as the questions from Sarah, and the transcript for the full podcast available on thedigitaldelusion.com/podcast. So I'm Doyle Buehler. My mission is to help entrepreneurs, to help you become true digital leaders in your industry. And I will see you online.
Thank you for listening to Breaking Digital with Doyle Buehler. While he goes and makes a sandwich, you can find all of the notes, links, and details on this podcast by visiting thedigitaldelusion.com/podcast. Go on and click that now. www.thedigitaldelusion.com/podcast. I'll definitely click that. If you'd like a free copy of the book, The Digital Delusion, How to Overcome the Misguidance and Misinformation Online, just send an email to doyle@thedigitaldelusion.com. See you online.